Hi students, it's Miss Henderson. We are continuing lesson 3 in Microsoft Word. We have already opened the article, we changed the margins, we changed the orientation, we put the article into 2 columns with a line in between, and we centered our heading. Now, before we do our next task, I want to point out a few really cool features of Microsoft Word that I want you guys to know about. Up here at the top, I want you to click on the Review menu item. And in the Review menu, there's lots of really neat tools that are there for you if you're ever writing an assignment for a class, or if you yourself have to look over an article for a class. There's some really neat tools in here. So for example, we already know spelling and grammar. Those sometimes pop up automatically for you. So for example, over here, I've got a little blue underline on this word so. If I didn't know what that blue underline meant, I could do a 2-finger tap on top of it, and it would tell me, well, really you should have a comma after the word so, since it's an introductory element. If I agree with that, I can go ahead and tap on that, and it will fix my mistake for me. Now here's one down here. Again, it's got a little underline underneath it. I'm going to 2-finger tap, and it's telling me I should put a space after the punctuation. But I don't agree with that. The quotation mark should come right before the first letter in that sentence, so I'm going to ignore it and not do anything with that. I don't think I have any spelling errors on here, but if I did, even if it was a punctuation, or not punctuation, a capitalization error, for example, if I forgot to capitalize Indonesia, you'll see it'll give me a red underline. Not that it's misspelled, but it's because I forgot to capitalize Indonesia, which is the name of a country. So again, I can 2-finger tap on top of it, and I can click what they're suggesting for me, and it will fix my error. All right, now in addition to spelling and grammar, Microsoft Word also has a thesaurus. And a thesaurus, of course, most of you know, is a book that helps you with synonyms and antonyms. So for example, if I wanted to change the word trigger in my heading here, I could go to thesaurus, and it will tell me, well, these are some synonyms for the word trigger. So if I wanted to change it, maybe I didn't want to use that word, maybe I wanted to use the word start or produce, then I could replace my word trigger for one of those synonyms. Now, when I did that, I actually went up to my toolbar, but I think you can do that right on top of the word. If I do a 2-finger tap, I can go down here, yes, and this is basically the same thing. So it will give me synonyms that I can choose from if I want to change that word. All right, now another cool thing in Microsoft Word is, especially if you struggle a little bit with reading, or if the article is a little bit beyond your reading level, there is a read aloud feature. So if I put my cursor at the beginning of the article and I click read aloud, it's going to start reading to me.
The southeastern nation of Indonesia, which sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, is no stranger to earthquakes, many of which trigger.
All right, so that's just another cool feature in Microsoft Word. If you ever need help reading something, it can read it for you. Now, sometimes when you are in high school or in college, your professor might tell you that your article or your paper or your report needs to be a certain number of words. And here's another cool feature of Word, is it will count the words for you. Now I can either tap this button up here in the toolbar, but actually it keeps track of the words down here as well. So right now it's telling me that my article is about 753 words. It also tells me how many pages it is. Of course, this one is only 1 page long, but in the future you might be working on a paper or a report that is several pages long, and you might want to quickly see what page you are on. So that's one thing that Word will do for you as well. All right, now before we finish the assignment, I would like for you to go add 2 or 3 photos that go along with this article, and you're going to have to really be careful with the photos because you don't want to bump your text too much. I've already opened a few here, so I'm going to go to Google Images, and I've already read this article. The first image I'm going to go get is a little map of Indonesia. I wanted to remind the readers where Indonesia is located on the world, so I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to go back to my document and I'm going to paste it. Shortcut for paste is Control V. Now remember, as soon as you put a picture in this article, it's going to bump your text. So before trying to move it around, you're going to want to go to Wrap Text. This is review from previous lessons. And then you're probably going to want to shrink that down. And then the other thing that I like doing with my images, this is optional, you do not need to do this, but I like adding a border around my picture. So I'm going to go to Picture Border, and I'm going to make a black border going across and around, and I might actually make it just a little bit thicker, like that. Okay. Now you'll see here my text has started going on to a second page. I'm not going to worry about that yet because I still want to add one more image to my article. So I'm going to go back to Google Images. This time I'm going to search for an earthquake picture, and I kind of like this one. Copy the image, and this time I'm going to paste it on the other side. Again, I'm going to wrap the text, and I'm going to shrink it down. I'm going to go add a border, make it a little bit thicker. All right. Now we need to adjust these photos a little bit so that our text is not flowing onto that second page. The other thing we can do, and I might have to do this in a little bit, I might have to shrink my text a bit. So I'm going to make these just a little smaller again. And maybe I'll place this one over here. All right. That looks a little better, but my text is still flowing. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to Control A will select everything on my document. So you want to be really careful here because you don't want to accidentally delete it. But I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to gently bump down the size of all of my text. And there you go. That took care of my problem. So now, again, my text is fitting all onto one page, even after adding a couple of photos to the article. All right, so that's about it for this lesson. Go ahead and save, Control S for save, and move on to the next lesson if you have time yet in class.